Hi, I'm Gavin,
And I'm Dave.
and you're on the fringe.
Come along with us for a ride on a podcast where we talk about an area or a thing going on in the world that needs more attention, just like you do. Let's go.
On the fringe. Here we go. Welcome to On the Fringe. I'm Gavin, and I'm sorry, Dave, I cut you off. What were
You
we
did
talking
cut
about
me
today?
off. We're still here, though.
We are. We haven't fallen out yet. What are we talking about, Dave?
I don't know. You cut me off, Gavin. I wouldn't know.
Okay, well, we were talking about AI. We're talking about AI. As you know, that's a big bugbear here on the fringe. We love talking about some AI, and we're talking about kind of the collapse of middle management. I think mostly in America, but just like generally in the world. And I was talking about teaching people how to use AI responsibly in my class. I'm a humanities teacher, and I've been training my kids how to use AI, how to make AI prompts, AI ready prompts. And I was just talking about some of my kids already, their parents are sending them to private classes how to use ChatGPT and giving them a lowdown, basically giving them a heads up. This is how you should talk to it. This is the information you should provide. This is the formatting. And I can tell you, these kids, Dave, they're ahead of the curve.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure they are. And I was looking today it was on X. And there's a Reddit thread. There's Reddit threads, and there's all kinds of stuff online about actual prompts people have used. And if you can write a good prompt, it can solve a lot of your problems at a basic level.
Oh
It's
my God.
amazing. It's amazing. It can
And
do
I think it's
almost anything that
interesting.
you need on something where, okay, I need help fixing something, or I need help understanding this question on my taxes, or I need help planning something, or I need help writing something. It's going to spit out stuff to you. Is it always going to be 100% factual or correct? No. And this is where you have to come in and you have to know whether the information it's giving you is valid or not valid. It's trying to make you happy and it's trying to solve your problem. But sometimes it does it a little bit too much. It's too much of a people pleaser.
And I'll be honest, I was validated. I read an article out of the New Yorker. I think came out yesterday, but it mentioned something that I'd actually noticed with ChatGPT, which is it's the newer models are more sycophantic.
Mm-hmm.
So they're actually even more ass kissy than they were before. And yes, I did use that word.
Oh
But
man.
they're even more so than they used to be. And it's not great because it essentially, if you don't know what you're doing, it can create a very dangerous feedback loop where it's just going to try to, A, as you correctly said, make you happy. And B, it's going to validate every decision that you input into it. So if you say, this is an example, uh, I want to lobby a foreign government to invade a third party country. ChatGPT is probably going to encourage you to do that. And it will probably give you advice on how you could tell a country to do that. Now, is that advice necessarily going to work? Probably not for that specific scenario. Um, but it's not going to put the brakes on. If you ask it to do something explicitly illegal and you're stupid enough not to frame it as a theoretical, then you might. be in trouble. But otherwise, it's just going to say, yeah, that's a fantastic idea. You could do XYZ. You could masquerade as a foreign diplomat and set up a fake email account. And before you know it, you're like, I just had the brainwave of a century. No, you didn't. You're
Oh,
you're in a
you're
you're in a feedback loop.
well, you're following everything to a T, and you're basically making yourself malleable, and you're basically
Yeah.
making yourself able to be influenced. And you trust ChatGPT based on either other people's recommendations or it could be your past experiences. But you have to take every experience with using something as an independent experience, meaning that you can't take all of your past three, four, five, 50, 100 times of using it and go, okay, it's been accurate 100 times. It's going to be accurate 101 times. You can't specifically believe that. You have to go, okay, it has a good track record. It's done well. We'll see what it comes out with. But you
But
can't always just blindly trust because once you do that, you forget how to think. And when you forget how to think, you basically lose power and you lose control.
oh boy, and you do not want that, let me tell you, because I don't know a whole lot about the legal system in AI, but I can tell you right now, if I get up before a judge and I say, well, ChatGPT told me it was a good idea, I suspect that that excuse will not take me very far. And
ChatGPT told me to jump off a bridge, Gavin.
well, do you have a parachute?
This is a working parachute.
There isn't a parachute? What about a bungee cord?
It might work. Um, there's a raft below, and the raft is coming at approximately, I would say, 10 meters per second down the river, and I've got
Oh,
to time my jump exactly to land on this thing.
this does sound like a problem for ChatGPT. I usually make the joke. If someone's driving in a car at 80 miles an hour and there's a train coming at 160 miles an hour, what are the chances that I care? Not very high.
Probably the same as like the Rockies winning the World Series this year.
Who's that?
The Rockies.
I'm
Colorado.
sorry. I'm sorry, Jay.
Yeah,
I haven't
man.
heard of that team before.
You've never heard of the Rockies. Oh, man. Okay, we might have to
Oh,
go with like the Cardinals then. Okay, you've heard of the Cardinals, right?
ChatGPT, tell me about the Rockies. Uh, no, I have heard of the Cardinals. I know who they
Okay.
are.
Okay.
I am aware of the game of baseball, Dave.
Okay,
I
good.
can I can
Good.
assure you that much.
Okay.
But back back to like the semi-serious topic we were kind of ostensibly talking about. Yes. So the key thing is it's a tool, it's not a spirit guide, it's not a shaman, it's not a shoulder to cry on, it's not a source of good advice. It is a tool if you know how to use it. And we're now entering sort of a stage in the economy where pretty soon you're either going to be able to use it or you're not. And if you're not, you may be getting left by the wayside sooner than you'd think.
Yep. And I think too, if you can't use it, if you don't know what it is, and you're interested in doing something with a white collar job, it's probably a good idea to get on and play with it. Make a junk email account. I never use ChatGPT with my personal email. I have a junk email account that I use and basically get on there and play with it and figure out what it looks for in terms of the prompts and just play around and see, okay, what can I come up with and how specific do I need to make these things to actually get what I want?
Yeah, because and I would recommend it if you are thinking of, I have good philosophical and moral reasons why I think no one should use it. But at the same time, I think if you are thinking of using it for professional reasons or otherwise, uh yeah, do what Dave has just said. Get yourself a junk email and fart around. Play around with it. It's, we're still at the stage where I can't really think of a better way to learn. Um, I haven't looked at any tutorials or anything like that. A lot of the things that I know are out there, I feel like I kind of learned intuitively. And there is an intuitive nature to it. But at the same time, just giving yourself some room to sort of figure it out. That's just a good idea.
Hmm. Yeah.
Anyway,
And well, and too, I was gonna say one more thing is if you are writing or you're doing something you're posting online,
hmm,
ChatGPT is basically going to start taking all of your information and spitting it out. And if you're counting on something like Google Ads to get traffic to your website,
yeah.
well, this is a game changer because people are not going to Google anymore. They're going directly to ChatGPT and saying, plan my trip to Bali instead of going on Google and typing in Bali hotels. And based on the person's past experiences of using ChatGPT can get an idea of what the person is looking for that trip or
100%.
or what they're trying to do. So, if you're trying to build a business, and I'm glad I realized this last year instead of now, you're trying to build a business around Google Ads, it's probably not going to work
Hmm.
unless you're specifically focusing on SEO and you have been doing SEO for a very, very long time. And I don't see how it's going to last more than 5 or 6 more years. I could be totally wrong on this.
What do you think happens after 5 or 6 years, Dave?
I don't know. I mean, I honestly think in 5 or 6 years, if you want something, you're just going to be inundated by ads, and you're going to be
Hmm.
inundated by anything that you could potentially want. And I think, we look at pop-ups and we look at advertisements now online and we go, this is annoying. But
Yeah.
I almost see like the Ryanair effect where you've got ads, you know, inside of the airplane. You've got ads on your seat back. You've got ads on the overhead bins. And I could see people saying, okay, you can put an ad up inside of my apartment or inside of my house or somewhere else. And basically, you pay me a little bit of money to actually do this. And you have just
Hmm.
these ads scrolling around all the time. And it's just a never ending world of advertisements.
So maybe
And it's
something a
just
little bit
taking,
like that.
and it's taking just your attention. Everything is taking your
Yeah.
attention for 10 to 15 seconds.
Well, I was gonna say, you're kind of describing that scene from Minority Report.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, where I tend to agree with you. I think that is, sadly, again, this is not every country because a lot of countries the infrastructure is just not there. But um, certainly, I feel like in a lot of Western countries, you are probably moving to that Minority Report esque kind of universe where the attention economy is going to be embedded into your everyday life. It's not going to be you turn on the computer and there it is. It's going to be with you when you wake up. It's going to be with you when you go to the bathroom. It's going to be with you when you go to work.
Hmm.
Um, I would sort of describe it as the premium premiumization of life. Uh, if you want to live a life without ads, you're going to have to start paying for it.
Yeah.
And my feeling is that, the various corporations will find a way of making that possible, where if you don't want to be bombarded by maybe embarrassing targeted ads, because some people's internet hygiene is not so great. If you don't want to be bombarded by these potentially revelatory and maybe even uh, disreputable online ads, you are going to have to pony up. So yeah, that's the bright and shiny future waiting for us all.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I was gonna say I look at that too, and on the other side of the coin, you could market this as we're helping you live the optimal life because this is what you like to do, or these are what you want in
well,
your life. You know,
that's how they're going to sell it. Yeah.
these potential medical conditions, or these potential activities, or these potential places to go, and it's all just consumption, and it's consume, 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 consume,
Mm,
and it's just an empty, endless feedback loop.
yeah. It's one big frickin' feedback loop and an endless void. Uh anyways, that we keep ending on these just really
Oh
uplifting
God, it's sad.
uplifting fucking moments. So on that uplifting note, we're on the fringe, reporting from our bright and shiny future in the void. And thank you very much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. Get your friends to subscribe. Get your enemies to subscribe. Forge your pet's signature. Get them to subscribe. If your pets, do pets have signatures? It's an
Guess you could
interesting little question. I
operate.
guess you
I don't
could.
know.
I never thought about that before. Anyways, next week we'll talk about, do pets have signatures? This week we didn't talk about that. Like, comment, subscribe. All the best for me and Dave. Have a good one.